What does non-binary mean? Today, especially in Western society, most people still understand gender as a binary characteristic, meaning a characteristic that has only two distinct options, male or female. Throughout history, many non-Western cultures have been more comfortable and accepting of gender outside of the binary, and many of these societies have long recognized more than two genders.
We know that for as long as we've had human culture, we've had multiple instances of transgender identity. We have the two-spirit tradition in a lot of Native American cultures, and the Hijra, who are actually legally recognized as a third sex in India. So this is not something new and modern. This is something that has been going on for quite some time.
More recently, in the Western world, teachers, scientists, and medical professionals are also beginning to understand gender identity as a characteristic that exists across a spectrum, and with this shift, we're beginning to gain a better understanding of non-binary gender identities as well.
So then there's a host of names, that's growing on a daily basis. Some of them that you might hear might be something like agender, meaning they identify with no gender, or bigender, meaning they identify as both. A common one that's coming up is gender fluid, meaning sometimes they feel a shift between the genders.
Like transgender individuals, people who identify as non-binary have a gender identity that diverges from their sex assigned at birth. But instead of identifying as male or female, their gender exists outside of the two boxes that are narrowly defined by the standard binary. Children who express a non-binary gender identity may not identify strongly as either male or female. They may feel they identify as a blend of both or neither. Non-binary individuals are often considered to be a subset of the transgender community, but many of them have unique needs beyond those of trans boys or trans girls. One of these considerations is the importance of language. In English, we use a lot of gendered terms like brother or sister, which could make a non-binary person uncomfortable because these words misrepresent their gender. Instead, we could use non-gendered terms like sibling or parent. The concept of gender identity as a spectrum that goes beyond male and female is sometimes harder for people to understand and accept. We still live in a world where we learn early on to categorize things as a way of understanding them.
What I would say is that, for most of us, for the vast majority of people, the sex we are assigned at birth and the hormones that we experience through puberty matches very closely with our own gender identity. And for most of us, this is not even something that is going to come to mind. But for a small set of individuals, and this has happened for as long as we have had a human culture, right? These individuals, their gender identity does not match with the sex assigned at birth. Maybe because they identify as the opposite gender, but sometimes because they identify somewhere along a gender spectrum.
By allowing our children to describe and express themselves in ways that reflect their most authentic selves, instead of forcing them to fit into two pre-existing categories, we may actually be creating an environment that's better set up to celebrate the beautiful uniqueness of each and every child.